producer of oil in the world. We can owe that success to a lot of different things. However, fracking is one of the big things. Today I'm going to inform you about the process, the benefits, the risks and dangers, and the alternatives to fracking. Fracking was introduced in the 1940s, and the first time that it was ever conducted was in Kansas in 1947. 2 years later, it became commercial use in Oklahoma. However, it didn't become widespread until 2008 when 50,000 active wells were found. The process of fracking is injecting fluid into the ground at high pressures to fracture shale rock. The liquid that is used is called fracking liquid, and it's a mixture of water, sand, and 600 different chemicals. The liquid is injected 10,000 feet into the ground, and it fractures the shale rock, causing it to become more permeable, letting the natural gas flow into the oil line. Shale is a clastic sedimentary rock hardened during the geologic evolution of our Earth's crust. Each process uses about 1 to 8 million gallons of water, which takes 400 tanker trucks to bring to each site, and 40,000 gallons of chemicals, 600 different. And there are lots of benefits from fracking on our economy. There are 300,000 barrels produced a day from fracking, 267,000 employees, 500,000 active well sites this year, and $36 billion. Fracking has allowed us to gain access to world trade as well, letting us trade our oil with other countries instead of buying our oil from other countries. It has also helped the unemployment rate greatly, especially in the Mahoning Valley. We were in a great struggle, and that's really helped our economy a lot here. Risks and dangers recorded from fracking are earthquakes. Earthquakes happen because ancient fault lines are hit by the well sites in the drilling, and it causes the tectonic plates to shift and our earth to shake. And we actually experienced a couple here in the Mahoning Valley, a couple small ones and one that we could actually feel. Other risks are that it contaminates our groundwater. The levels of methane from water recorded by or near a fracking site have 17 times more methane in them than water recorded from other places that don't have fracking by them. There's also sicknesses from the harmful pollutants in the air because only 30 to 50% of the fracking liquid is recovered in the process, and the liquid that's not recovered has harmful pollutants in it that rise up into our air and pollute our air, and down into our groundwater and pollute our groundwater. In some cases, the water isn't even safe to drink for people living in communities by a fracking site. Illnesses recorded with fracking are sensory, respiratory, and neurological disorders. And another big problem with fracking is the wastewater. All the water that's recovered after the well is drilled has to be put somewhere. Last year there was actually enough wastewater to flood Washington, D.C. It's stored underneath the ground, but there's not many safe places to store it, so that's become a big problem for people in the industry. There are many alternatives to fracking, maybe not as good as fracking is or as productive, but there's wind power, solar power, carbon-free power, and scientists are now trying to develop a different kind of fracking liquid that uses less harmful chemicals. One that was introduced was using nitrogen, although the nitrogen or carbon dioxide have been known to mix and cause acid rain. So really, there's no real good alternatives right now to fracking to keep it up and running. But I hope that today you've learned a little bit about fracking and the process and the benefits that it has on us and our economy. Thank you.